Yes, that's all right.
Okay.
Hope the sound is clear.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
So I say I'm so glad that I remember you very well.
Oh, very well. And thank you so very much at the last opportunity. Maria, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, great, 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 great. So I'm particularly very happy to really see how the sentiments about this project in Nigeria can move off the ground. And my only concern has been the right platform that can facilitate that citizens in the country can benefit from what we are doing without too much of politicking. That's been what has slowed us down for some time.
So it's a great, I'm very pleased because the conference was very positive. A great follow-up.
Yes.
And last week also, I was invited to speak at the General Assembly, at the Third Commission. And Maria will send you and was a very high level meeting because it was at the General Assembly directly. And I explained what means our work, the conference, our task. So, and they appreciate, the president appreciated, right? After. So we are preparing now to transfer all the idea on the ground. So, you know, we are very positive, very concrete people. So I think that Nigeria can be lead the process in Africa.
That's exactly what I've been doing, sir. I try, you know, if you notice, when I've been working with Professor Amjad since 2010, the whole idea of the United Nations Global Alliance for ICT Developments as at 2010 was to see how developing countries can appreciate the space for ICT initiative and adapt it in their various economies. But there were a lot of slowdowns, But then I particularly consistently from Africa had to work with Professor Amjad to share the African experience in the architecture. And this has actually helped us a whole lot. And that is why he's always with us in Africa in what I'm doing. That's Professor Amjad Umar of Harrisburg University. And he's particularly very ready and keen to offer his service to this country as soon as we are ready. He joined me some 2 years ago and last year when I was developing some youths in the country to introduce them to the need for strategic planning on how they can help their various leaderships in politics. Because today, those tools are very relevant to any developing country, but then those things are not really available and nobody is actually mandating that these services are pushed to developing countries to help their digital transformation. So that is why we really need more men on the ground. And we want to really see this happen. And that is why the vision I have is to first start with my last year R&D has been to look at capacity development, capacity building. I've volunteered at many levels to do this. My work with the ICT for Cis has been on voluntary. My current work, even with the World Summit Awards, has been on voluntary. And we are happy with the results that we have. There is no year that Nigerian innovation has not been recognized on the World Summit Awards. Just a few weeks ago, they just released the results of the 40 best innovations in the world. 2 weeks ago, and Nigeria had 2 innovations. I'm glad to say that Nigeria also won. Even last year, we had 2 innovations among the 40 best in the world. So with all this capacity, I'm trying to harvest this local homegrown capacity in my faculty in the national incubation that I want to generate the next generation of citizens, next generations of Nigerians, so that we can hear less of this ritual. People are into blood rituals because they need money quick. They're looking for what can generate money, and digitization and technology initiative is what can bring the next money to any youth anywhere in the world.
Yes, so that is I'm very pleased because with Amjad, you remember, I was very pleased to involve him just 50 years ago. And we write together the basic paper, you remember?
Yes, yes.
That is his signature, my signature, also John Stephen's signature. And that we have explained very well our practice, okay? So I'm very pleased that it's continued because it's very coherent with info poverty and so on. Also with Peter, I have a great link. It's just a long time. Now I know he's very engaged about the award and so. And in terms of doing to advance, I think we need to create or to select a champion, you know, something very significant. We are at the origin of the smart villages or ICT village. You remember one
Very well, ICT village.
Become a UN Millennium Village, and so that. But the ICT village means to have new best practice on telemedicine, for instance.
Yes, yes.
E-learning for creating job. All the new practice in agriculture. We have launched with the European Union a great project, you know, Innovationbed.
Yeah, very well.
Involved 40 villages about in 6 countries. If we meet some month before, you can be involved, but we can apply a relaunch again another step. What are your relationship with the European Commission?
Actually, at the moment, I'm not doing much with the European Commission. I just know that there was some time I was particularly very interested, and I remember I was invited with some other ICT stakeholders in the country here in Nigeria, almost 7-8 years ago, and we went with the European ambassador here in Nigeria, and that's how I was in contact with the likes of quite a number of them, the ambassador himself, and some of this one other friend of mine who does quite a lot in European missions here in Nigeria. I've forgotten his name now, but then not much that they've engaged us to do with the European mission here in Nigeria yet. And
with Africa Union, what is the attention and intention of African Union on digital development?
Quite frankly, they've been doing so well. They have actually been doing so well, like I shared earlier. At this stage of my project is the time I'm really looking outwards for collaborations. Before now, I was particularly concerned about the R&D. And I've learned quite a lot of lessons because certain things you want to do in Europe will not play the same way when you want to play them here in Africa. So the lessons I've gotten in the last decade is why I'm a bit strategic, not too fussy. And for me to do what I have to do, I have to have it to be as independent as possible before I can get the kind of results I have invested, because I've had so much social investment into this as a person. Because I run a small software company that markets the capital market. I mean, that concentrates in the capital markets. And this is where I make my living. And I use this to champion my research in all this that I do in my little foundation, Programmers Foundation. So with the results I've gotten as an entity, it gives me that good sense of responsibility to know that to start the project the way in a particular manner in the country may not work, but in a particular way it will be much more worthwhile and much more result oriented. And that is why my approach has been that the way we have gone. Right now, the incubation I just want now is try to see how I can multiply the effect of what I've done in the last 10 years and try to see how I can regrow and regroom a new generation of people with different capacities that can offer innovation across all e-services, you know, in the verticals that can regrow our regional governments in the country. And same is scalable to across any other African country, the same design. And that is what the Space for ICT is all about, championed by Professor Amjad Umar, and I think Dr. Stevens of the Oklahoma University too, which of course is also a major player in the Info Poverty World Conference project.
Yes. With the European Commission,
yes,
is quite complicated, but we have a very excellent relationship.
That's right.
And for that reason, we have win that call, and we can also study other action. Okay?
That'll be good. In fact, they'll be very relevant, sir, in the area of our creative and film industry, because in my curriculum for my incubation, Nollywood, being the creative arts industry in Nigeria, is actually a major income earner to an average citizen in Nigeria. But you see, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, due to technological advancements, that industry has been negatively impacted because of knowledge gap. So most of the key players that have always been known in that industry that has actually done so much that they contribute so hugely to the national gross GDP. So, and for that industry to be tending down is to let you know that the key players are no longer able to match the requirements and expectations of players of the creative and the film industry any longer because they can't match the knowledge base. So we have the Innovationbed creative and film industry aspects of the incubation that addresses the ministries of culture, addresses the functions of the ministries of tourism and the likes of it across entertainment industry in the country, because they are actually one particular sector you cannot push aside. That's been the income earner and spinner for many families and citizens, whether politics and the politicians are there or not. They've been doing so well in the past. But there is now this disruption by technological advancement that needs correction.
That information very interesting, and maybe after Maria Chiara will make some question. My point is to understand how to build a new project on advanced practice, in the rural field. Also, we have launched a conference at the study on smart city because you have a great problem about the slum, and we have also with the World Bank have launched a project. We win the competition to make 3D houses.
Excellent.
You can make maybe 10,000 house in 3 days.
Excellent.
At $1,000 each.
Professor Amjad and I are already discussing in the area of 3D printing and 3D technology in the country. And this is very, very going to be very well. This you are saying now makes me very happy.
I am architect.
Yes, also, I know.
So we have that project. We of course, with the COVID, was difficult to go ahead, but we need to have 1 point of reference.
We would be glad to have in Nigeria, sir.
And also investment, because of course the state, the city have a great problem about the slums, because there are a million people in danger. In rural village, in some measure is easier, but the poverty in the big town is terrible. So the first thing is that, and you know how we have solved in principle that problem. The first was the consideration that these people, they built by the rubbish, you know, come si dice, the dump, come si dicono le immondizie, Maria Chiara?
The slum,
No, le immondizie.
rubbish.
The garbage, you know?
Yes.
So they take anything from the garbage and they make the house, but with a great creativity, If you go there, they seem arte povera, no? Like in the museum, you have some artists, they make something very poor, but that people is very clever, and they can make with nothing a kind of house. But what means, if they are poor, but they are creative.
That's
so
right.
if you give the real panel or the real material, not just what they find in the rubbish, they can build better, no? Because they, so.
That's right, that's correct.
And this build material, you know where you can take from? Again, from the recycling from rubbish. So you can, instead to burn, you can make the panels. From one side is the inert, and the plastic become a glue. So it's like a extrusion, and all the process of the recycling of the garbage can be transformed in production of building material.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and so you have the cost zero of manpower, the cost zero of the material per building. Okay. And that panel you design very well that they can build easily. Right. And you put inside just the low for solar, but not the normal light, just the low, come si chiamano, Maria Chiara, the light, digital light, come si chiamano, le lucine piccole. Okay.
Small light.
The LED light.
Bulbs.
LED. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not. And it's all 12 continuous volt. No, it's low frequencies, no high frequencies. So you can assure also the energy. And after the town, we have started in Santo Domingo Norte, and also in Peru something, in Bolivia something, but the town will give a land where you put for the sanitation and water. And the land, you give pieces of the land to each family. And you give just, not for free, but very low, $1 a month, for instance, but so they have the property rights. Because the poor is poor also because you have no property, nothing.
That's correct.
You have nothing. And so you have all these people, they become with ID, they become with a property title, and they have a house. In that, the cost is also zero because I discussed with the World Bank, etc. They said, oh, we can give the loan because it's so low. So at the end, applying this 3D building machine with this material, and material can be also done by earth, local earth, special earth, with herbs, you can build very fast and give also the capacity to auto construction to the people. So it's a process where you involve all the people, the people become a community. And when you have 10, 20, 50,000 people, you know exactly also how many, because each month they must go to to pay $1 or just to say hello, and you know how many children they have. If so, you can plan the school, you can plan the health system, you can plan all the services.
That's correct.
You know, by digital assistance. We call that e-welfare, e-welfare for all.
E-welfare for all.
It costs $5 each. In your nation, you are how many? You are 200 billion people.
200 million people plus.
So if you put 200 million for $5 each, you have the capacity to assure the housing and the e-welfare, this basic services.
Very correct.
You know, that is the great design is need to teach the people to inform. But we can make example if there are convergence of a will, for instance, from the city or minister or the plan ministerial, or also, I know there is the oil company, they want always, they said, help the people. You can propose to do that. That is a very basic, definitive, revolutionary way.
That is, I love this.
And 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe Maria Chiara can send the conference about smart city. We said that the smart city is the only, we can call smart city only when they can destroy, eliminate the slums, not the smart city for rich. Smart city means to have the capacity to eliminate the slums, because the slums is a danger for the society. If you have 2 million poor people desperate, the society will collapse. That is sure, it's sure. So that just to say what is the vision, and is we can start in some place if there are a convergence of some stakeholders. But to be more easily, we can also study with you to be involved and empower some governmental program able to give more development of digital, the application of digital. So I appreciate very much the Pantami, your minister.
Yeah.
So I think we need to be in relationship very close with him.
That's correct.
And maybe he can participate also with the Nigeria delegation. We are planning, we are invited to be in Geneva, because in Geneva there is the commission,
Right.
UN for Science and Technology High Commission.
That's correct.
That is in Geneva. We are an observer, official member of the commission. So we will present all that issue.
That's correct.
I don't know if Nigeria is the commission. You can check, Maria Chiara, sorry. I think so.
What time is this?
1st April.
Oh, okay.
If the COVID allow, because it's always that, sorry. But so, in synthesis, we go ahead with the follow-up.
Yes.
And we think it's important to apply some best practice. It's up to you to select what are the expectation or the opportunity in your country.
Right.
And we can mix, we can connect with the plan of a European. And maybe we have the chance to participate to a call. The call is quite important because can have some million euro to invest. But the need from Italy, from Europe partner, and we can associate you in that.
Thank you.
You need some months to work, maybe 6 or 7. It's not easy, but are very important. Another way, Amos,
Yes, sir.
is the European Union have a special agreement with the Africa Union.
Okay.
In 70, I was in Addis Ababa exactly when there was the signature. It was a 70 billion pound. 70 billion pounds. What happens? Each country, each Africa country, have 2 chances. One, to present the project to be financed.
That's right.
The first project with priority 1 will be approved without any discussion. Okay?
That's right.
The second can be put in discussion with others. But if you find with your minister a very important project, very advanced in that field, we talk about digital welfare for all, ICT village, telemedicine, slums, that great needs, no, is you need to face to that.
Yes.
And if your government will present a project like this as a first priority, they give you the money. There are no discussion.
Right.
The first, number 1 priority. And that you can study with your minister and we can converge
Yes.
to prepare an excellent project for the your government. And we know the side of the European, and your government can be elected to be, you know, to create that project. In my opinion, I think in few years, all the project will be on the digital.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you do as Nigeria, the first, it's sure they will do that. You have the capacity, we have the capacity, the UN is follow us. So we are in a very good position. So that is my suggestion. And of course, if you have other suggestion, it's very important we can discuss. Because I think in few weeks we need to have one idea, concrete idea to study.
That's
The
right.
feasibility. Maybe yes, maybe not, but okay.
I understand, so.
And I'm very appreciative to have you as partner.
Thank you so very much. You see, actually, on this direction, it's very good to do a general study, which I think, Nigeria is a very unique country on its own. And once there are good projects to be done and sold to them in a very normal way, and they also have the will to drive, then obviously this will go a long way to benefit the huge size of the population for now. And of course, it goes a long way to also help the economy in itself, because the economy itself is actually undergoing quite a lot. And there's so much infrastructure, I must say, that this government is putting in. But it's important that we don't just spend on infrastructure. The use is very important. So the use of things is actually very important.
Yes,
because
if
we have done all this and we are not using, then it's like just wasting our times. And that is actually where the social, economic, and cultural reorientation of things is important. And though there are agencies that are concerned with that, but most of the time it will take a private person to deliver, to do most of this, to see results. I quite appreciate your
we have a machine of doing things. Listen, Maria Chiara will help you at your disposition, because we need to go. So another question, I'm very interested, because you know, Occam was created by UNESCO. You know, UNESCO.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
At the origin, and I in that period I was president of International Council Cinema and Television. So I born 25 years ago. So now they insist to be again president of International Film and Television at UNESCO. So at the moment, I am also have two hats. Okay.
Yeah.
For that
I
reason,
think Nigeria and Africa should be your help, sir.
Yeah. For that reason,
so much to do.
Yeah. No. For that reason, I am very fascinated about the Nigerian movie industry.
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
But there is not a no at all in Europe. No, we don't know. A lot of, I have a friend who have a television with the channel for film, for movie. He called me also, what about? So I think we can also in that field to invent some initiative.
Excellent.
How are you involved in this field, Amos?
Okay, I think at this stage, because I am an active player in the industry, ICT industry, and the Nigerian ICT industry particularly are looking for the best of ways to revamp all our sectors. And I think this creative industry is one of the major ones. Just last December, one of the major film key players, AfriGold, a lady, is involved with AfriGold. She has a studio. She's into acting and filmmaking and all of that, and she runs a studio. She's actually one of the major faculty on my project, and I'm sure as time goes by, we'll get to know her. So even the sector has been looking for how we can help the entertainment industry, because what you find today is that industry is become so, do I say, disrupted, that the kind of thing you have today is scandals, share scandals. People now have time for scandals and not time for creative productions because they really have lost the capability to do and leverage on what Netflix is doing on their contents, what several other TikToks and several other people are doing on their contents, because they actually can't get those values sufficiently to give them the values to sustain the industry anymore. And it will really, the kind of incubation we are thinking, we are planning about is what can actually help all of them. We're in touch with all the artists, no matter how old, no matter how newly started, and the newer generation are the ones understanding the game. But guess what? The newer generation who understand the games don't have the integrity. They do not have the right thing. They don't know what is right to do. So it still will need to be that we need to wake up and help those elderly ones to kind of to prepare that sector properly so that the newer ones can learn the right things to do and not just, you know, the kind of copy you see, just people making noise. But there are certain cultural contents of Africa and Nigeria that are still remaining, you know, things that should be protected for the future. You know, the Nollywood particularly is still there, very active, but they are still not engaging the right ideas, the right technology to move it to the next level, which is the kind of things that is required. And if you understand, before now, people who were into entertainment were not really those who were very highly educated, but they know they have the wherewithal to, you know, to put all these contents together and create fun in homes across Africa. If you go to Ghana, go to Zambia, go to South Africa, everybody and their families enjoy programs and dramas and films put together by Nigerian locals. And this is the beautiful thing about it. And it can even be improved. And of course, add more value to what some other international innovation platforms like Netflix and all of that have been able to put up.
So how many movies they produce? You know how many movies they produce in.
Oh, that is in fact they are unlimited. There are new films almost every other day, because with new technologies now it's a lot easier for them to deliver, to produce cinemas, and there are so many films being produced. Obviously, even as we speak, they just held like a festival in the southern part of the country just about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is in Enugu State. We just had a film festival in Enugu State. So, and these things have been happening whether in the north, whether in the west, and the likes of it. But the bottom line is that the problem is still there with them, that they need help. Sometimes they may not even understand where the help may come from or what even the problem.
Yeah, and the language is local, is English. What language you use?
The beautiful thing about films in Nigeria has well over 500 languages. And it does not matter what language, so long as they are producing in the various contents that are making it interesting for every part of the people, they are all making their monies. Whether in broken English, real clean English, or general drama of local Yoruba language, or Igbo language, or the Hausa language. Like in the north, you have what you call the Kannywood. Kannywood are the Hausas who actually are into Nollywood. Nollywood is the overall. So you have regional, you have regional productions that they actually give, names to, that is for those regions. And they have their unique, even when you have DSTV that is powered from South Africa, they have unique channels on DSTV. So if you are the fan of for Hausa movies, you know what channels to go to. If you are the fan for Yoruba movies, you know what channel to go to, and so on and so forth. Even for Igbo, because in Nigeria there are 3 major languages, even though there are so many others. But then these 3 major languages actually helps the convergence and proper understanding of more people than if they were to learn the languages one by one across the various ethnic groups. But it's been the fun. The more the languages has been the reason why, it's even been making it more interesting,
There is a producer or television they produce? And there is main producer. What is the actor?
Actually, you have the producers. Then you now have the artists. So those artists are the ones that are actually going through the sets and all of that, and they go through a film, they produce it, and of course it goes for marketing. The marketing mechanism also needs some innovation. The marketing mechanism also needs some innovation, and more importantly, also is protection of intellectual property in the sector. This is critical. So because of the way data and these contents are being produced and made available, sometimes people lose their rights because of piracy easily.
And the distribution is around Africa, also the Muslim world. What is it?
It's global. Distribution is global. In fact, like there are people in the US. Any new film in Nigeria today is in the US the same day or the next day. But more people in the US watch Nigerian films than Nigerians.
Oh, that is extremely interesting. We need to know more. Also because in Europe, we have a lot of American friends here.
Yes.
You know, we have, I don't know how many million, 20 million, 30 million. I don't know.
The other newer people that came are the stand-up comedians. Comedians are also making a great break. Comedians are making a great break anywhere in the world, and that is why you have Nigerian comedians that are on tour currently. They're in Europe, they're in the US, and they are in fact, and they, you know, there's no city they will actually engage the entire city, whether in the UK, in the US, the whole place will be fully booked.
And there is some on the web, some link to follow some movie.
No problem.
You can send.
No problem. I'll share some of that. Like I told you, on my faculty, we have people who are, in fact, the president of certain associations, of all these associations, they are all handy because these are the people we're working through. The president of the film industry, the national president, the executive council, and some other major players, just as we also have. For me, I belong more to the team of technology that can help the sector. And that is why we are marrying this with the contents of what we're able to get, the benefits that we can get into the country to help them, and so on and so forth. But all the key players are all handy, and there's a kind of channel to be able to create programs that can actually improve. Take, for instance, I shared a video recently. A Nigerian Grammy Award winner, Nigeria won a last Grammy. His name now is, what's that his name? But then the Nigerian Grammy Award winner was in discussion with another artist from another country, and they opened up the discussion by sharing the difficulty of engaging virtual platforms as soon as pandemic started. These are, you understand? So almost everybody, every professional has this problem. So this also affects them.
But that is very, I'm very passionate because it's a very young system, a very strong become, and it's on the digital era, so it will change.
So you can imagine for so many of them, not even to be able to converse on virtual platforms like this. Yeah, Angelique, her name is Angelique from Cameroon or Togo. And our own is Burna Boy. Burna Boy was the last Grammy Award winner for Nigeria. And they were starting and they were sharing how difficult it was for them to even get to be talking on virtual platforms. so
no, because you know the CICT, the International Council of the UNESCO, before me, was chaired by Jean Rouch. Maybe you know Jean Rouch.
I've just heard of that name, yes. I've heard of that.
Jean Rouch is the father of the African movie.
Excellent.
You know, it's a great.
Excellent. And of course, you know, like in the UK, you have Ralph Simon. If you've heard of the name Ralph Simon, Ralph Simon is the CEO of Mobilium in the UK. He actually happened to be the World Summit Awards national expert for the UK, what I do for Nigeria. And he does also, in fact, he was one that actually launched my first festival of Innovationbed that actually got about 15 African countries together last 2 years. So, and we call him he's the father of the ringing tone in entertainment.
Yeah, he's interested in the innovation bed.
What I mean by Innovationbed is that I try to tell people who are innovating to try get back to the bed where they actually sleep, to get that bed redressed. We need to prepare our beds, make it look the way we want it. We need to prepare our lives. You know,
yeah.
We are talking about stopping the slums. We can't stop the slums if we are not working hard to use digital means to impact our local slums and making them the digital society that we desire, which is what Innovationbed is all about. Very simple process.
So it's not a bed for sleeping.
Not about sleeping. It's about correcting our past wrongs. It's about correcting our past wrongs. I like that. Innovationbed is about correcting our past wrong.
Yes,
to give ourselves.
Excellent. No, also because we have each year, basically, in Venice Film Festival, a conference initiative, award. So we can think something together.
That's right.
And, so thank you for that meeting and information. I think we have a lot to do together.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you.
Maria Chiara will help us. You have some question or some proposal, Maria Chiara?
No, actually, I think that everything was already decided. So we just will keep informed each other, and I will send all the material the president have talked about. So maybe you can have a more clear idea about what we was talking about, and then that's all. If you have any other question, or maybe some more project will come up in my mind in the next days, I will talk to you about that. But for now, for me, it's everything else. It's fine.
And we need more info. Maybe just to remember what we have said. Maybe you can share our conference.
Excellent. Very well. Yes. Sure.
This Zoom.
Yes. I will, sir. I will share it.
And so you have a lot to transfer to us, because I'm very, very interested. It's a new world.
Thank you so very much.
I know something, but I want to go.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amos, just the last question. What is the next activity you will do in few weeks?
Okay, great. Okay, right now, I started last December to talk to each of the state governors, that is the leadership in politics of each of the 36 states of the country. I'm speaking with one state at a time. And what I do is that I've done I've spoken with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've spoken with 5 governors, 5 executive officials of 5 state governments. And we have gotten positive results from 2 states right now, 2 outstanding have also given us the assurance, that is Zamfara State, Nasarawa State Government, Edo State Government, Kano State Government, and we are going very gradually, because we don't just write letter. What we do is just we initiate like a talk, like we are discussing like this, and we share the project with either the senior special advisor on ICT to the government or the commissioner for science and technology, who will better appreciate your understanding, and they will now go to tell their government. And it has been very positive. if I try to see how I don't create too many middlemen, because too many middlemen will be creating what is in it for me when I don't even, the project is bigger than me. The project is bigger than me, so I keep it low, go at the pace that is workable. And these 4 governments are preparing to nominate people for an incubation that I can train this year virtually. And I'm going to get experts from around the world. Or some of them are national experts of countries from diverse disciplines who are currently the national expert on the World Summit Awards for different countries, just like what I do for Nigeria. They are part of my faculty right now. Then I said that in the last 10 years, many Nigerian youths have won the global award. So meaning that they have health innovation, they have e-commerce innovation, they have e-learning innovation, they have open governments and citizen engagement innovation, and so green energy, different smart settlements. So I've put all of them together in what I call Innovationbed Fellowship. So all these winners constitute what I call my Innovationbed Fellowship, and I've been conscripted there. I've actually conscripted them like soldiers, army. In my faculty, in my thought of recreating the new generation of Nigerian innovators in this new 2030 decade. So this new decade, we are regenerating new brand new innovators using and harvesting the outcome of what I have done in the last 10 years, subjecting these new people to know what they need to do so they don't come out wrongly like us, the mistakes we made. So we are talking to people who are currently in school. We are talking to those who have graduated. We are talking to them who are jobless, and we are talking to them who are on the workforce, whether in private workforce or government workforce. And by the time they understand all of this, they will go a long way to influence the digital transformation requirements of our various regions, which has to be that we are aiming after a digital society. And these youths are the ones to help their leadership, because the leadership, they're just spending money, and it won't be about money. So these are the goals.
Yeah, that is a perfect strategy.
Yeah.
And I think with this kind of people, we will be involved with this main project with the European Union, or with, to make a very important project.
Yes, this is a major project for Nigeria, and not only Nigeria. All my projects are scalable to other African countries.
For Africa, yes, I agree.
Yeah, because I used to have an office in Ghana. When I started my Sido Liberty project, I was training youths from Nigeria as well as training youths in Ghana, because I had an office in Ghana. But right now, I work 100% virtual. All my customers who are into stock trading, you can buy and sell shares from any part of the world in Nigeria using my platform. And that is what I do as a human being.
Sorry. Another, what about Kigali? Because 10 years ago, I was at the origin of Connect Africa. You remember that was a great initiative.
Yes.
And after they built Africa, another initiative.
Right.
Now, Smart Africa, I think.
Yes.
I was invited by the president himself, but it was the same day of the Info Poverty, so I refused. I can't be. But you are connected. What happens there?
No, actually, there are certain concepts about the way Africans are seeing smart city and smart digital economies. Yeah. Most of the time, they feel they have to tour. They have to take a tour, visit the Europe, visit the UK, and so on and so forth, and come back and begin to celebrate. Now, the issue is this: why I have just closed my eyes as to all of that. It's not about tourism. It will take Nigerian citizens to develop their digital societies. It won't be acquired. All those countries never acquired their digital societies. And that is why, by the time we have ceremonies around digital society programming, we are failing already, because we are ordinarily putting ourselves in a conference and we will never come out of a conference, which is an idea, and we are not playing it out. What I'm doing is we are on the field. I can show you human beings in Nigeria who have capacity to revamp our health sector. because we know what they have done and they are globally rated, whether in health, whether in e-commerce, whether in open government, where the government has a will to use the services, and so on and so forth. So what we are doing is real. We're on the ground, and we don't have any national budget anyway, but you now have digital economy, this digital economy that which are on the surface, and people are speaking rather than doing. So it's enough for people to celebrate, travel. Oh, people go to meet Professor Amjad in the US and speak about digital society, but they cannot afford to speak with me in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And Professor Amjad does give me this feedback, because they just want, because he's a white man, and not only that, because they have some money to spend, and they will spend that money the wrong way, you never get an outcome.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm very, very pleased to hear about this concept, because it's very coincident.
Yeah, if those youths know what to do, sir, if those youths know what to do, they will help their various societies, whether government is there or not. They will help their major societies.
Yeah.
And we're already having that happening. And that is why you find more startups from Nigeria earning from Global Fund. I'm sure you're hearing them. So many of my winners are already earning seed funds from different investors, because those guys are now making money. But the funny thing is that if they're getting all this external funding, the outcome, the benefits may not necessarily stay in Nigeria. It goes out as capital flights to the owner of the investor. That is what my country does not understand.
Exactly.
So our sacrifice today is for us to realize that innovation, for me, that's the passion, and it's the passion of almost every young person. And a Nigerian that knows what to do in this country will do the right thing. So it's not always true that they want to do the wrong thing. They are under pressure to do the wrong thing because they need money. But then you have an ecosystem that might not be prepared to give them that level playing field for them to achieve what they wanted. Take, for instance, I have many people who have won the World Summit in the last 10 years. They were given global recognition, celebrated all over the world, in the UAE, in Austria, so many places all over the world, Portugal, like the last time. But guess what? Their country may not identify with them. They may not even recognize them. So that means that the supply they have, they will not have a local demand. And that means they will now face other things because they are frustrated.
I completely agree. About the money, there are a lot of money, but you can create also the money because the crypto value.
So most of the time, innovators are doing things that they don't want to see a government in it. The government should be at the bottom.
Yeah,
that's what works for us.
So so I'm very, very pleased. A compliment because I am with you full this concept, and we can work very well together. We have a lot of challenge to do very fast. The time is running.
And my son is actually graduating from school in Cyprus in a few months. I've allowed him to face his education, and his research project he showed me just a few days ago was on IoT. And you can imagine what IoT can do for, even domestic homes, security, education, agriculture. So, and I'm telling them right now, he's also leading a part of the youth now in the innovative programs, because like I wanted to share some things with you, but then I felt there wouldn't be any time. We have actually customized our incubation into 3 key areas. One is the creative and film industry incubation. The contents in that place, especially for those people who participate in that area and want to optimize what they should know, that this digitization should not displace them out of what they should know and make their living. The next one is economic and social innovation incubation, things that can directly impact our general economies. And the next one is when we are looking at governments, government needs a proper attention. Government needs proper attention. And we are training some youths to engage them, share some knowledge so that they can do better things than just spend money. Because why spending money? Most of the time, these budgets are spent without any strategic planning. The contents provided by UN Gates project, the Space for ICT, addresses that for any government, no matter how big or small your government is. You don't waste your scarce resources and not get any results. But then by the time you adopt some of these things, it makes you to get better results for the citizens, and you're a better leader and a happy leader at that. Because most of them just become president, they become governors, they have councillors, and they sometimes don't even know what the role of their leadership position is. And that is why what we now get what we have today. So
and, no, that next time I will talk to you the solution about telemedicine.
Very well.
We have tools, new tools, very effective, that you can have a very a great assistant, remote assistant.
Right. You know, in 2014, sir, at the Info Poverty World Conference in 2014, I was there at the UN when that telemedicine was demonstrated. They brought that gadget. If you remember one gadget, and that gadget there right in front of us in the room there at the UN, you were leading, and they showed us how you can actually communicate with patients, different parts of the world. Those things are doable, it's made possible, and it can be any part of the world. And that is the future of medicine.
No, that because in Africa you can build the hospital, also the doctors need 10 years, I don't know. So you need to change completely with
I know. And these things are doable in Africa. They're actually workable, they are doable in Africa. Some innovators are doing some good work in this area.
We are ready in that field. Yeah. We are ready because it's 20. Okay, so we stop here, otherwise we stay all the day to discuss. But it was very, very interesting compliment, really, Amos. I appreciate a lot.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. Maria, thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Thank you.
Ciao. Thank you.
Ciao. I'll share the video. Thank you.
Ciao.
Merci beaucoup. We say Innovationbed.
Yes.
Innovationbed. How does it sound? How does it sound to you, Maria? How does Innovationbed sound to you, sir?
Yeah.
Innovationbed. That's right.
Yeah, yes.